All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 3 p.m. in UK time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending from where you're dialing in. And welcome to our webinar with technologycatalog.com. My name is Judith Nugent, and I'm the sales manager with Technology Catalog. With me, I have 10 years of experience in the energy industry, mainly from the supplier's perspective. Along with me, I have today is Vincent, our COO from Technology Catalog, and Honey, our country partner from USA, joining with me today. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, Pete, our CIO, is unable to make it today, but Vincent has generously stepped in to help us out today. And without further ado, I'd like to pass this time over to Honey, our country partner in USA.
Hi, everyone, and good day to you. As Judith just mentioned, I'm the US country partner, technologycatalog.com. I'm also the founder and managing director of Novi Digitech. So I work with innovators, startups, entrepreneurs, investors, and customers to help create impact through innovation, collaboration, and digital transformation. Now, working together with technologycatalog.com, we connect customers to technology suppliers and experts and identify the technologies that enable a more resilient and sustainable energy future. Previously, I spent 15 years at Schlumberger in a variety of positions across Africa, Asia, North America, working mostly in operations, marketing, technology development, management, and deployment. This was followed by another 18 years at Shell as digitalization lead for our deepwater technologies, technology advisor, and part of the Game Changer program, which works with the front end of the technology funnel. I'm also manager of Shell's Fluid Evaluation and Sampling Technologies Global Center of Excellence. Now, technology benchmarking is a technique that I've employed a lot in my previous work. The idea of tapping into the collective wisdom of customer and peer groups is actually a best practice that is generally important, especially in fields such as innovation management, where there is little formal education or certification. I wish I had a tool like technologycatalog.com to make my life easier when I was doing this. But just to give you 3 ways in which it can help you in your innovation work, benchmarking, provides ammunition if you want to break internal log jams and convince management that risk can potentially be mitigated when you undertake new initiatives. Another reason why you want to do that is for the existing programs that are struggling to assess, for example, or communicate value, something I had to do a lot in my previous work. Benchmarking can offer you an opportunity to articulate the strength and maybe address the areas for improvement. And finally, innovation programs that are aligned with industry norms and standards are much more likely to survive and to build positive reinforcement and thrive in an ecosystem and avoid failures either due to limited use or misuse. So it's sort of this positive self-reinforcing loop. Now I'm going to hand it over to Judith and Vincent to dive deeper into this new exciting capability of benchmarking. Thank you.
Thank you, Honey, for your introduction and overview of Technology Catalog. And for those who missed the first few minutes, my name is Judith Nugent, and I'm the sales manager for Technology Catalog. And today we're going to bring forward to you is our benchmarking tool and our advanced features. Before I go ahead, I would like to let you all know there is a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type in your questions on the left, and me and my team at Technology Catalog will be happy to answer you today. Now, we know there are great new ideas and new technologies being innovated and developed around the world. We know the information is out there, and we also know we can find it. But what we have learned at Technology Catalog is that information can be very tricky to find. It is time-consuming, tedious, and often a lot of times takes a lot of man hours. So we have at Technology Catalog has now a new feature that we would like to introduce to you. I'm going to share my screen right now. And what you're going to see in a second this, ladies and gentlemen, if you can see it, will be our landing page. For those who are familiar with our platform, you can see there are new features and there's been new upgrades done to our main platform. You just need to log in or sign up here with this icon on the right, and you can use your work email or your LinkedIn account, and then you can view a couple of technologies as an individual user. Now, what we also offer at Technology Catalog is a company subscription. In that company subscription, you and your team will have your own technology space, a secured space where you can review and benchmark technologies globally. So what I'm going to show you now is part of the company subscription. So for a number of seats, and you will be given this feature. On your toolbox on your left, if you see over here, under the Insights Navigator tab, if you click on it, you will get this. And over here, you have 4 areas to cover. You have benchmarking dashboard, company ranking, technology ideas, and recommendations. I will walk through each one of those with you. I also would like to point out on the right-hand side that we have the categories. For today's webinar, I'm just going to go through for maintenance. But if you look at the drop-down menu, there's several categories you can choose from. There's core tech, digitalization, engineering, and even energy transition, just to name a few. And there's plenty of subcategories from each of the category that you chose from. For today's purposes, I'm just choosing one company to have a comparison with. Of course, when you do have a package with us, your company will be named on the top. And on the top here, because it's being benchmarked for you. And what you'll find is now there's some colored bars. These colored bars will correlate with the subcategory on the right. So if you look at this color over here, it's under the subcategory of monitoring. And you will find that with your team, you will see there's all green dots on the right. That indicates that this technology has been deployed by your company. But you want to know more. You want to know what else has been done and who else has done it. So then all you need to do is scroll down, either with the same category or a different subcategory here. And for example, here, you can see now you're comparing yourself against another company. And now you see there's a difference. There is a green dot and there's also gray dots. The green dots indicates that both your company and the company that you're comparing with has deployed this technology. But the gray dots, now that's going to be interesting. They have deployed the technology, but your company hasn't. So this is a great way to start a conversation with your company. Say, so-and-so has deployed this technology. Let's find out more. And ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is not just giving you a list of technology. Now we give you not just the technology, but how to read more and find out more about that particular technology. All you need to do is click on this and we'll take you to the page. And in this page, it'll list all the technologies there. Now you want to dig further. You want to find out more. You can click on any of these technologies that you've seen here. And we'll take you to the technology page. This technology page is consistent. Every technology that is on live at our platform will have to follow the standard template, making it user-friendly for you to read, analyze, and compare those technologies. And you can see over here on the right, you can share with your peers, you can contact the suppliers, and you can see where this technology has been deployed. These are just some of the information that is available. Now, let me take you back to the benchmarking dashboard again. Now, let's move on to the next one, which is called the company ranking. Under this tab, here you can see the level of activity based on the ranking. This is ranked based by the number of technologies deployed. And for today's example, I just choose a few subcategories over here. I chose about 5 and I chose about 6 companies to compare with. Of course, you can choose from your drop-down menu and you can choose as many as you want or as little as you want, or you can be very focused in a specific area. It's entirely up to you. Now, based on this, you can also choose what's in your region. Like, for example, in the Gulf of Mexico, you want to just choose a few companies. You can select them and you can see the level of activities. And here you can see, like, this company is named, under what category, and the ranking that it's in. And it's all tabulated based on the subcategory you have chosen at the bottom. Now, the third thing I would like to show you today in our benchmarking tool is the technology ideas. This will be for your team. You'll have your company's name here. Here we list it in a chart where we name the subcategories and we list the technologies in those categories based on your selection on the right-hand side over here. And the blue dots indicate that this technology has been deployed by these companies. Now, if you want to find out more about the technologies, you can see very clearly, for example, this one over here, Splash Zone Access Solution. You can see there's 3 deployments out of 5. This is a good start for you to go, if 3 out of 5 places I have selected to compare myself with has deployed it, maybe it'll be relevant to me. You want to find out more, all you need to do is click either on the blue dots or you can click on the technology itself and it will take you to the technology space. Again, the same constant information, easy to read and easy to compare. Here you have a video, and again, website, you can check it out or contact them directly. Now, back to here, the last but not least information I have for you today is recommendation. This is just based on the number of technologies used by your peers or your competitors. There's a list of technologies, and you can see on the right here, the number of deployments that has taken place. And based on that, you might want to choose more. You want to see who has ranked more or have higher deployment. You can just select over here. And then if there's any interesting technologies that you want to dig deep further, all you need to do is click on it. For example, on here, I will click to this technology, Tetra UT drone, an ultrasonic thickness measurement with drone. You want to know more, you can read about it and you can learn more about the website and you can see who has deployed it and you also have reviews. So these are all the information or some of the information that we have on our platform. I'm going to take you right back here. So what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? This information is available, but it is incredibly hard to find and gather and put together. So what we at Technology Catalog has developed is a powerful tool that can help you narrow down, search, and deploy technologies confidently. Now, before I hand over this time to Vincent, I would like to open up the Q&A session. So I would like to invite Vincent to join me in case there's any questions on his area expertise, he'll be able to help me. Okay, the first question I have here is, what is the source of deployment benchmarking data? Where we get this information is on the technologies that is on our page. So all the suppliers that put their technology on our page will have to have an agreement with their client that they are allowed to disclose their client's name. So this is the information that they have permissions ahead. If they are not given permission, to add the client's name, then it will show up as undisclosed recipients. However, we do understand that most of this technology, if you were to go to their website, they will show on their website itself, deployed by such a company, or our clients are so and so. They show logos and such. So these are the information that is not secret. It's available. It's just that we bring it to you in one place. And how recent are these data? This data is updated constantly. The suppliers are responsible for updating their technology because it's to their benefit if they give the customers globally up-to-date information. So the suppliers are the ones that are responsible for keeping their own product up-to-date. And I think that's a continuation to the next question. The vendors, yes, it is the vendors that update the technology. And are the technologies only from your catalog? Yes, these are technologies that have a subscription with us. So if their technologies is on our platform, you will have the information from it. And I'm going to read another question. Could you please summarize the various types or level of subscription for startups, individual end users, and corporations? This, I can discuss that separately. If there's any questions regarding subscription and packages, I'll be quite happy to answer you separately in an email, and we can have a conversation later. But part of the company's subscription in a limited number of seats or number of seats you choose to give, the benchmarking data will be available. But as a whole, your company will be given access to the entire platform on your own company page. Where do you get the information on which operator or company has deployed each technology? Does this come from the tech developers? And how accurate is this information? This information will be accurate because it's on the supplier's ownership to provide good and accurate information. Just like any technology, and this is from my background as a supplier, if I go to meet a client, I want to make sure that I'm coming with good reference and showing that I have used this technology with my previous clients or a client. And if I were to go see a client or an energy operator, the first thing they would ask me is, who else has done it? And I will tell, the such company like Shell or BP has deployed it. And of course, my information will be cross-checked. So likewise, instead of meeting face-to-face and giving you this information is now directly on our platform. Clients like Shell and Total use your catalog? Yes. We have customers now worldwide. We have customers in Malaysia, Shell Malaysia, Brunei, and we've been in discussion with a few other companies as well. It's really excellent. Thank you. General question. For safety items, there is best in class. How do companies respond to benchmarking and discussing best in class and when to upgrade practices for systems? Is this a point of discussion with companies with that benchmark? Vincent, will you be able to chip in here and see if you can help me out here?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I hear myself. Maybe I have to mute. Yeah. So maybe also coming back. So first of all, we're not benchmarking in the sense of best in class. It's mainly looking at number of deployments and also going back to the accuracy of the data and what we do to validate. So essentially, the correctness of that data is comes down to the supplier community. However, what we do as a platform, we control the review process. So it's a bit similar to when you book a holiday and you look at a hotel site. If there's a 5-star hotel and the hotel claims to be fantastic, but there's nobody there that can actually review and confirm that it was a fantastic place to stay at. you probably have your doubts. And it's not so different with the setup of this platform. If a supplier claims to have 50 deployments, but no one is willing to write a review, I would personally also still have my doubts. And then the next step you can do, perhaps there is some confidentiality around it. You can reach out to the supplier and ask for a few case studies. Maybe they are willing to share it on a one-on-one basis. So that's more down to the interaction that's going on the platform.
Thank you, Vincent. I think he covered the second last question, and I think there's one more question here. Is how many suppliers do you have on your platform? We currently have 600 over technologies on our platform, and the numbers are growing and adding on all the time. And there is another question here, Vincent, if you could chip in here. How do we know the age of deployment data? Example, 2 deployments 5 years ago is less relevant than 10 deployments last year.
Yes, it's an excellent question. It's actually also something where we're adding more granularity to the data. So when we started the platform, we were only tracking the clients that were a supplier had. We're now expanding this so that suppliers can also specify what location, so that could mean multiple deployments for the same client, the year, or whether it was onshore or offshore, which is obviously also a big factor if it comes down to the applicability for your specific case.
I noticed there are reviews for suppliers. Who provides these reviews? The reviews are either given by tech experts or by clients. So it's up to the supplier themselves who are trying to promote their technology on this platform to go get the reviews. Of course, the more reviews you get, it's just like in any bookings or any daily life we look, the higher the reviews, the higher the ranking, the better your chances of your technology getting noticed.
Yeah, and probably worth adding, Judith, here, this is actually a process that we validate. So every review that's been submitted, it's never published right away. We always validate those reviews to avoid that they're either fake reviews from suppliers or potentially one user trying to write a nasty review about another one. So that is a process that we check also jointly with the supplier to validate it was a genuine client or tech expert writing the review.
And also to add to that, the review is never anonymous. So we know who that person is writing the review. So you can't have someone who just had a bad day and just write a review on your technology. So it's usually named. And I think that covers the second question that came with that question. Is there any more questions? We will give it another minute or so. If not, I can hand it over to Vincent shortly.
Maybe there's one last question that says, so no negative reviews being submitted. But that's actually not the case. So we don't block negative reviews. And there's actually a good reason for that, because negative reviews give a good balanced view on the quality of a technology, particularly if it's a technology that's still going up on a TRL level. And a negative experience for one user could still mean that the overall capabilities or specs of the technology have actually been increased, but perhaps the supplier had overpromised too early for a particular deployment. So we feel that's actually very relevant information for the whole community to have.
All right, thank you, Vincent. Let me see if I did not miss anything. I think this is right. That is what we have for now. Are suppliers only innovative techs? we have a wide range. You have technologies that has been proven or matured, and also new technologies that are innovative. So we have a wide range of technologies being added to our platform. And I think that's the questions we have for now. And I would like to pass this time over to you, Vincent. Vincent, I'll pass it on to you.
Thanks, Judith. If you stop sharing, I will take over. So while I do that, so also good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are from my side. So my name is Vincent van Beuzenkom. I was actually not on the announcement, but taking over for Piet Moeilijker today. I'm co-founder of technologycatalog.com and double heading at the moment as both the CTO and COO. So looking after both the platform development as well as the overall operations. And for the next part of the webinar, I will be taking you through some of the new features that we've recently added to the platform that are not specific to the benchmarking part, which is only part of the company subscription, but specific features that are available for everyone. And I will also take you through a couple of the recently added technologies along the way. The first part that I would actually like to show is an improvement that we've made to our search functionality. So we are here back at the on the home page where we have the first option to search, which is through this search bar. And if you now start searching, what you'll actually see is that based on the database, when you start typing, you will actually get some suggestions. So I can use drone, for example, as an example, and then I will get the overview of drones. To actually access the technologies, I will have to log in. So let me just quickly do that. Oh, what am I doing? Too quick. So now I'm logged in back at the overview page. Before we actually move on, let me just retype the drone overview. So we have that back on the screen. So here, again, you see the similar overview of technologies that Judith had already shown in the previous part of the webinar. So for those of you that are already familiar with the platform, this will be quite familiar. I do want to highlight a couple of other ways of how you can actually also search based on feedback that we've seen from our user community in the recent months. One thing I would like to make you aware of, that if you're searching for something very specific, so not drone, there are effectively two ways how you can get there. And let me use two very different examples. If, for example, you're a wells or subsurface engineer and you're looking at technologies for sand control, which is very specific but uses two words, I do like to highlight that it's best to type it in quotation marks as per search engine best practices. And that would then immediately get you a very focused short list of relevant technologies that you see here. And in the background, we've made some changes also to the search engine that we use to power the platform to make sure that you only get relevant technologies in these cases. As said, there are multiple ways to zoom in your search effort. This was one using a very specific search query. What you can actually also do, if we start at a very high level from the all technologies overview, you can also use the filters on the left-hand side. So let's take a different topic like maintenance. Very big topic of close to 300 technologies. we actually have subcategories within maintenance that can then help you to zoom in further. So, for example, on corrosion under insulation, which remains to be a big and hot topic within the maintenance community. So these are two ways how you can refine your search. If we now continue with the journey of our recently added features, the next thing I would like to show you is your personal landing page. So if you've recently logged in, you've probably noticed already that when you logged in, you were taken straight to your new personal landing page. And I would like to take you through this page, actually. So the first thing that you see here is a list of technologies recommended for you. This list is actually based on your own areas of interest. So what you see on the left-hand side is a tab called My Areas of Interest. And it corresponds one-on-one to the filter list that I've just shown on the search overview page. So in this particular case, I've just selected very specific hydrogen technologies. But if you go to Manage My Interest, you can select the tags that are relevant for your area of interest. And then the feed on your homepage is actually based on that specific selection that you've made. We'll actually soon be adding a next option to this. That's why you see the placeholder, and that's the option to create your own modules. So until then, you can use the modules that we have available on the homepage. So for example, the renewables module with its relevant sub-modules, or conventional energy, etc. But within a few weeks, you'll also be able to save your own search queries as your own personal modules. What is already available on your personal landing page is the feature that you can actually follow specific technologies, and in that way create your own shortlist on your landing page. And for the sake of today's webinar, I've actually followed just a couple of technologies specifically that have been recently added to the platform to give you a flavor of the type of technologies that have been added. Some may be in your areas of interest, some may be just more generic technologies. So the first technology that I would like to highlight is a technology called the ICCP pod. It's a technology focusing on offshore use. And for those that don't know the acronym ICCP, it's a means of corrosion protection for subsea hardware based on impressed current. That's what the IC stands for. And it's actually a combination of a technology coming from two different suppliers. One supplier providing a net zero electricity generation solution for offshore use that you actually see on the top of the monopile here, and another technology supplier that have developed the ICCP technology. And this supplier is actually targeting the wind farm industry, as you can also see from the title and the pictures here. To highlight a completely different technology that was recently added is this Pseudolex technology. And this is may sound simple. It's actually a additive for fuel systems that can be used to reduce fuel consumption, for example, on diesel generator sets. So as you can see, straightforward picture, just the barrel of the actual chemical. The standard setup of our technology pages. But here it's also good coming back to the discussion we just had on the reviews. So here are a couple of reviews with users giving their feedback on the technology, and in the reviews you can also see when they have actually deployed the technology. In view of time, I will not go through all of the technologies that I had shortlisted in detail, but as you can see here, the technologies that have also been recently added are, for example, a software package from IBM in support of systems engineering teams, a UT wall thickness profile technology, which is very focused actually on the monitoring of bends in assets that produce high volumes of sand. And the last one that you see on the right-hand side here, the variable technology, is a well intervention technology for extended reach wells. So just a flavor of recent technologies added. Another new feature, which you may have noticed in your inbox recently, is that we introduced this feature that we call notifications. So on the left-hand side, you see the notification center here. And here you can actually manage the type of notifications that you get from the platform. And these are notifications for new messages that you may receive from the platform. So as a end user, you can send requests for more information, requests for quotes to suppliers. And when they then respond to you, you will get a notification that you have a new message in your message inbox. But also, if new technologies are being published and they're being added to your feed, you will also receive a notification. And you can actually set the frequency of when you receive these notifications yourself in the notification center here. So these are the updates I wanted to share with you today. I will now stop sharing and open the floor for any questions that you may have. So I see the first question is related to the webinar. So will this webinar be available later? The answer is yes. All our webinars are being recorded, and on the webinar page on the platform, you can always watch the recordings of the webinar. The webinar replays are only available for logged in users, so that's something just to keep in mind. Then the next question I see is, can a non-subscriber browse your catalog for free? The answer is no. So as you could see when I was demonstrating the search, the moment you start diving into the depot and want to open a technology page, you will actually have to log in to continue. So you get a quick preview of a technology page the first time you visit. But then when you move to your second technology page, you will actually have to log in. This is for free for a starter subscription, which actually allows you to view 10 technology pages to get a first impression. And after that, you'll have to switch to either an individual paid subscription or to a company subscription. Then I see a question, besides these TC vendors, is it possible for you to host an internal non-public catalog on your platform? Great question. And that's also just for clarity. So something that Judith said earlier, when you have a company subscription with us, this is actually what you get. So you get your own non-public version of the platform, which is hosted on a subdomain. You have access to all the technologies on the platform if you want. But if you say, hey, some areas are totally not relevant for my company, you can also filter it such that only the technologies that are relevant for the areas that your company is interested in are being shown. Then beyond the benchmarking features, you will also be able to add technologies that you have internally developed, but you don't want to be public on the rest of the platform, things like that. So essentially, a company subscription means you get your own in-house technology platform, customized for your needs, with your own logos, your own technologies if needed, but all powered by technologycatalog.com. So this means if a supplier makes a change to their technology page this moment in time and they hit save, it's automatically updated in the technology catalogs or technology platforms of all our clients, as well as our public versions. Let's see, I think, any other question? I think we have time for one or two more questions. What type of interfaces can TC handle into client systems, e.g. Salesforce? So at the moment, we have a limited number of interfaces in that regard. So the interfaces so far are mostly looking at the sign-on process, so that we make the whole sign-in process as easy as possible for our users. But we're also looking at, within the company subscription space, looking at opportunities, for example, to make links to the procurement process, to SAP, etc. in the future. But that is actually very client specific. So if you're interested in that, we would need to discuss that further offline. So I still see some questions coming in. When a company has your subscription, what is their user outreach? I think that's a great question. So it's global, and in terms of numbers, if that was essentially what you're after with the question, is that we have over 6,000 registered users. So that's essentially giving an image of the outreach. And I can say that in terms of global presence, we have users from all the energy industry heartlands in that sense. Okay, I see the second part, which of the question is now, you see only a few users in one company who use your catalog, or the whole department? That depends, right, Judith? I think we see companies with one or two users, maybe from their innovation department. But we also have companies that have close to 100 users, because they started innovation, then they involve operations, and then you could almost follow you could see the journey of the oh, I see my video stopped. You can see the journey of a technology sometimes by users, where you could see that first somebody from operations, they see a technology, and then a few days later somebody from the HSC department joins, and then with our regular updates, you then hear later, yes, we've been looking at this technology with the team, and you could actually see that in the users of the platform as well, how the technology is driving the conversation.
Yes, and to add on to Vincent, part of our company subscription, you can choose the package that you want to have. We know that some of our clients just want everyone to have access to this technology platform. So there's a user for everyone in that company. And the benchmarking insights tool, then they limit it to maybe 5 or 10 people. So we can discuss that, and customize the package that suits your business needs and how you think will be beneficial to you and your team. And I just wanted to say there's one comment that was there earlier, and I'm just going to add on quickly, Vincent, if you don't mind. Adding geographical data, such as location of deployment, would be very useful. as regional supply base for different technologies will differ. Yes, I agree. Different region does have different challenges, and so the technology needs are different. And we at Technology Catalog right now is we are working on that aspect as well. And thank you for that comment. Vincent, do you see any more questions? Because I don't. We'll give it another few seconds. If anyone has a last minute burning question they want to ask.
Yeah, I see no more questions. Right on time. So indeed, last question, or otherwise suggest we wrap it up for today.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being very active participants. It's nice to see these questions and nice to have the discussion about our platform. We hope that you have found this time very insightful, and we ask you to take your time to visit our platform to find out more. And of course, as you discover more, you will have more questions. Please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer to you. And of course, if you would like to have a personalized demonstration about our platform and how we can tailor make this to suit your business needs, and you want to have a private conversation with us, please go ahead. You can book the demo as well on our website, and we'll be happy to have one with you. And before I say goodbye, I would like to thank Hani, our USA partner, and Vincent, our COO, to join me today on this webinar. And thank you all for your time. We appreciate it and have a great day. Bye.